such a sweet little girl as this?" The mother, as she listened, thought how fit and delightful an incident it would be if fairies, or still better, if angel children were to come from paradise and play invisibly with her own darlings, and help them to make their snow image, giving it the features of celestial babyhood. Violet and Peony would not be aware of their immortal playmates. Only they would see that the image grew very beautiful while they worked at it, and would think that they themselves had done it all. "My little girl and boy deserve such playmates, if mortal children ever did," said the mother to herself, and then she smiled again at her own motherly pride. Nevertheless, the idea seized upon her imagination, and, ever and anon, she took a glimpse out of the window, half dreaming that she might see the golden-haired children of paradise sporting with her own golden-haired Violet and bright-cheeked Peony. Now, for a few moments, there was a busy and earnest but indistinct hum of the two children's voices as Violet and Peony wrought together with one happy consent. Violet still seemed to be the guiding spirit, while Peony acted rather as a laborer, and brought her the snow from far and near. And yet the little urchin evidently had a proper understanding of the matter too. "Peony, Peony!" cried Violet, for her brother was again at the other side of the garden. "Bring me those light wreaths of snow that have rested on the lower branches of the pear tree. You can clamber on the snowdrift, Peony, and reach them easily. I must have them to make some ringlets for our snow sister's head." "Here they are, Violet," answered the little boy. "Take care you do not break them." "Well done! Well done! How pretty!" "Does she not look sweetly?" said Violet with a very satisfied tone. "And now we must have some little shining bits of ice to make the brightness of her eyes. She's not finished yet. Mamma will see how very beautiful she is, but Papa will say, 'Tush! Nonsense! Come in out of the cold.'" "Let us call Mamma to look out," said Peony, and then he shouted lustily, "Mamma! Mamma! Mamma! Look out and see what a nice 'ittle girl we are making." The mother put down her work for an instant and looked out of the window, but it so happened that the sun, for this was one of the shortest days of the whole year, had sunken so nearly to the edge of the world that his setting shine came obliquely into the lady's eyes. So she was dazzled, you must understand, and could not very distinctly observe what was in the garden. Still, however, through all that bright, blinding dazzle of the sun and the new snow, she beheld a small white figure in the garden that seemed to have a wonderful deal of human likeness about it. And she saw Violet and Peony. Indeed, she looked more at them than at the image. She saw the two children still at work, Peony bringing fresh snow, and Violet applying it to the figure as scientifically as a sculptor adds clay to his model. Indistinctly as she discerned the snow child, the mother thought to herself that never before was there a snow figure so cunningly made, nor ever such a dear little girl and boy to make it. "They do everything better than other children," said she, very complacently. "No wonder they make better snow images." She sat down again to her work, and made as much haste with it as possible, because twilight would soon come, and Peony's frock was not yet finished, and grandfather was expected by railroad pretty early in the morning. Faster and faster, therefore, went her flying fingers. The children likewise kept busily at work in the garden, and still the mother listened whenever she could catch a word. She was amused to observe how their little imaginations had got mixed up with what they were doing and carried away by it. They seemed positively to think that the snow child would run about and play with them. "What a nice playmate she will be for us all winter long," said Violet. "I hope Papa will not be afraid of her giving us a cold. Shan't you love her dearly, Peony?" "Oh, yes!" cried Peony, "and I will hug her, and she shall sit down close by me and drink some of my warm milk." "Oh, no, Peony," answered Violet with grave wisdom. "That will not do at all. Warm milk will not be wholesome for our little snow sister. Little snow people like her eat nothing but icicles. No, no, Peony, we must not give her anything warm to drink." There was a minute or two of silence, for Peony, whose short legs were never weary, had gone on a pilgrimage again to the other side of the garden. All of a sudden Violet cried out, loudly and joyfully, "Look here, Peony! Come quickly! A light has been shining on her cheek out of that rose-colored cloud, and the color does not go away. Is not that beautiful?" "Yes, it is beautiful," answered Peony, pronouncing the 3 syllables with deliberate accuracy. "Oh, Violet, only look at her hair! It is all like gold." "Oh, certainly," said Violet with tranquillity, as if it were very much a matter of course. "That color, you know, comes from the golden clouds that we see up there in the sky. She is almost finished now. But her lips must be made very red, redder than her cheeks. Perhaps, Peony, it will make them red if we both kiss them." Accordingly, the mother heard 2 smart little smacks, as if both her children were kissing the snow image on its frozen mouth. But as this did not seem to make the lips quite red enough, Violet next proposed that the snow child should be invited to kiss Peony's scarlet cheek. "Come, little snow sister, kiss me!" cried Peony. "There, she has kissed you," added Violet, "and now her lips are very red, and she blushed a little too." "Oh, what a cold kiss!" cried Peony. Just then there came a breeze of the pure west wind, sweeping through the garden and rattling the parlor windows. It sounded so wintry cold that the mother was about to tap on the window pane with her thimbled finger to summon the 2 children in, when they both cried out to her with one voice. The tone was not a tone of surprise, although they were evidently a good deal excited. It appeared rather as if they were very much rejoiced at some event that had now happened, but which they had been looking for and had reckoned upon all along. "Mamma, Mamma, we have finished our little snow sister, and she is running about the garden with us." "What imaginative little beings my children are!" thought the mother, putting the last few stitches into Peony's frock. "And it is strange, too, that they make me almost as much a child as they themselves are. I can hardly help believing now that the snow image has really come to life." "Dear mamma," cried Violet, "pray look out and see what a sweet playmate we have." The mother, being thus entreated, could no longer delay to look forth from the window. The sun was now gone out of the sky, leaving, however, a rich inheritance of his brightness among those purple and golden clouds which make the sunsets of winter so magnificent. But there was not the slightest gleam or dazzle, either on the window or on the snow, so that the good lady could look all over the garden and see everything and everybody in it. And what do you think she saw there? Violet and Peony, of course, her own 2 darling children. Ah! But whom or what did she see besides? Why, if you will believe me, there was a small figure of a girl, dressed all in white, with rose-tinged cheeks and ringlets of golden hue, playing about the garden with the 2 children. A stranger though she was, the child seemed to be on as familiar terms with Violet and Peony, and they with her, as if all the 3 had been playmates during the whole of their little lives. The mother thought to herself that it must certainly be the daughter of one of the neighbors, and that, seeing Violet and Peony in the garden, the child had run across the street to play with them. So this kind lady went to the door, intending to invite the little runaway into her comfortable parlor. For, now that the sunshine was withdrawn, the atmosphere, out of doors, was already growing very cold. But, after opening the house door, she stood an instant on the threshold, hesitating whether she ought to ask the child to come in, or whether she should even speak to her. Indeed, she almost doubted whether it were a real child after all. or only a light wreath of